Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope you're having a great first week of the new year. But today, I'm going to share my top 5 new for 2023 roller coasters. Welcome to Kim's Coasters. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you love theme parks and roller coasters. During the end of the year, parks like to announce what they're doing for next year, and I'm going to count on my most anticipated ones for this year. But before we start, there is going to be a few honorable mentions, and let's run through them. The first one is Pipeline and Surf Coaster coming to SeaWorld Orlando. This is going to be a first of its kind surf coaster, and I expect this model to be a big failure. It's just a new gen stand-up coaster, and no one likes stand-up coasters. So that's the first mention. The second one is going to be Flying Viking at Adventureland. Just like Pipeline, it's going to be a first of its kind model rise in parallel. But why I didn't make the list is 1, it's a family coaster, and 2, we won't have a lot of information about this ride. Now we're going to talk about our next honorable mention, which is Primordial at Lagoon. This is a shooting dark ride mixed with a roller coaster. Why I didn't make the list is because the same thing as Flying Viking, there isn't a lot of information about Primordial. In our last honorable mention, we'll be going to Storm, the Dragon Legend at Tusenfryd in Norway. This will be the most unique coaster on this list, and why I didn't make it is because it's a short ride. So I had to keep it off the list, but before we go, we're going to start the video with our number 5, Zinger. This will be Worlds of Fun's first coaster in over a decade, and finally they're getting one. This is one of the most unique coasters by GCI, because it has a spiral lift is to pay homage to the original Zinger that operated from 1973 to 1997. And some people say this is a wooden equivalent to the original Zinger, and it does look like a wooden version. I forgot to mention that almost half the layout is tie and track. As for the parts, it's the spiral lift and the turn around the spiral lift. This looks like a sort of fun family coaster. It delivers thrills to the thrill seekers, but it might still be considered a family coaster, and it reminds me of Plower in the same park. But in my opinion, Worlds of Fun doesn't need this. It looks way too similar to Proud because of the layout and the GCI transitions. So this would be better at a different park, but no more negative talk, so let's move on to our number 4, Air Force One. This American flag looking RMC was set to open last year in 2022, but it got delayed till this year in March. This looks like a super fun ride. There's a ejector all over the place, and there are foreign versions. 2 Heartline rolls, a first of its kind Raven Trust dive loop, and a regular roll 0G stall. Air Force One isn't the most forceful RMC out there, but it looks like a top 15 roller coaster for me. The quad down looks like an ejector like it's no tomorrow, and that off axis hill after the third inversion and after the stall looks crazy. Funspot Atlanta needed a stand-up coaster for a while, and they're about to get one. But let's talk about our number 3, Batman Gotham City Escape. This Spanish Pantheon looks like a masterpiece. The top hat is a very strange looking one, and that drop looked like it'll deliver some ejector airtime. And there are 3 launches. The layout is a creative and unique one, mixing in ejector pops with floating versions and with wavy transitions. So just like Funspot Atlanta, Parque Warner Madrid needed a new stand-up coaster for a while, and they're about to get one. Their last coaster was Correcamino's Beep Beep in 2009. It's been 14 years since they got a new coaster, but they're getting one heck of a coaster. But let's talk about our number 2, Wildcats Revenge. This mini Zadra looking RMC is what Hershey Park needed. Everyone wanted the original Wildcat to get RMC'd. Then the park announced Wildcat become a hybrid in November. Wildcat's Revenge isn't the most focused airtime RMC, but the same thing as Air Force One. It'll probably make like top 15 when I ride it someday. The layout was very unexpected when it got announced, but it's a goodie. The truss lift is like Goliath, Iron Gwazi, and the aforementioned Zadra. And the theme is like Zinger. It pays homage to a past attraction. It has a few inversions, like the world's first biggest underflip inversion. It's also featured on another RMC, which is the Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in California. And like the Joker, it will have a 0G stall. And everyone was expecting RMC Wildcat will be like the Joker. The other versions are just regular RMC inversions, which is 2 0G rolls, but I don't know what else to say. So let's talk about our final number 1, but it won't be as much of a surprise. So let's roll it on in. So number 1, Tutautis. I was in the dilemma of choosing this or Wildcats Revenge, but this French Pantheon coaster looks amazing. I can compare this, Pantheon, and Batman GCE all together. All of them have a few launches, they all have a top hat, and all of them have inversions and ejector pops. But Tutautis looks like the best one out of the 3. This will be easily the best coaster in all of France, and it's in my bucket list roller coasters that are not open as of early January 2023. But that'll be for a future video, so stay tuned for that. The theming looks nice, the rockwork and the landscaping looks incredible, but the color scheme just looks like red onions, just like Banshee at Kings Island. I forgot to mention that the inversions look super floaty, but the top of that top hat, it just crawls. Also never heard of the word Tutautis until this ride got announced. But I don't know what else to say, so I guess that will wrap up today's video of my top 5 most anticipated coasters for 2023. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up like I mentioned earlier in the video. What is your most anticipated roller coaster for 2023? And also make sure to leave a comment for any errors I made throughout the video or have any video suggestions. Anyways, keep that adrenaline pumping, and I'll see you next Saturday.